Okay. This is going to be a demonstration to get started with your thumbnail drawings for your handscape project. So first thing I want to show you is it's going to be like a resource guide in terms of doing your handscape drawings. I'm going to give you guys a link to this Google Slides. It'll be under the assignments when we do your thumbnail sketches. But basically, this is just to give you like a overview of like the project and give you some helpful resources in terms of like images for inspirations and reference images you could use for the handscape drawings. Okay, kind of use this Google Slides as a starting point for brainstorming ideas for your handscape drawings. You may use some of these images, so I'll definitely let you know which images you can't use, but it's mainly the handscape drawings or art that I'm going to show you. But you may copy the landscape and hand references to create your handscape drawings. So remember, we aren't inherently born knowing how to draw hands and landscapes. We spent about 3 class periods drawing hands. Although we got better with the hand drawings, though, I wouldn't say like we're experts at that point. I've been drawing hands for many, many years. I probably taught this project 6 or 7 times already throughout the course of the years that I've taught, and I could safely say to myself like I can't draw hands from like imagination. I always have to have a reference to help me out. And then also you can look for more images online, but I think like what I have here for you though is pretty much enough that you need. But I know some people like to look up their own references, and that's it's gonna be optional if you want to do that. Okay, so just to give you just a quick rundown of the slides. These surrealism art that I'm showing you. This is used for like inspiration for ideas. Don't copy it. Okay, kind of like why we don't, why do we not use, copy artwork? Mainly for plagiarism. We don't want to, copy, steal other people's work. Some of these examples that I'm showing you of like art itself, drawings, student work. These students work really hard to come up with their own concepts and ideas, within their drawings. And I'll be honest with you though, if you copy an idea, I usually can spot like which ones are copied because I've been looking up a lot of handscape drawings online. I'll definitely point it out if you were copying someone's work, and I'll probably tell you to go with like a different idea. Just please don't copy other people's artwork. I want you guys to design and create your own handscape drawings. But I'm just going to show you some examples. So surrealism art, just to give you a quick overview, these are like basically works of art where it's something you wouldn't see in like the real world. So for example, like a cat driving a car into like this stone hand in the desert. This is something you wouldn't ever really see. So a lot of these images, when you hear the word like surreal though, it's like it's kind of like realistic though, but it's like not real though. Because like the word surreal means like it's realistic, but it's not like real. So it's basically almost like an imaginary fantasy world that you're creating. So we're gonna kind of do these same thing with the handscape drawings, because we're gonna over exaggerate the hands in the drawings. Salvador Dali was the person that, and like I would say he's like the king of surrealism. He started the trend, the art genre. A lot of his work is very famous for surrealism art. So, here's some examples of his work. So, all of these, don't really have like the hands in the drawings. Some do have hands, but this project stems from like the idea of creating like surrealism art. So, you're basically creating an unreal world, and you're drawing things but incorporating it into like a landscape. Okay, so then here's some examples of handscape art that I found online. So this is not like student examples. This is like drawing paintings I found online. So I thought some of these were really interesting though, especially like their incorporation of like the hands and then the landscape itself. And if you want to have like some conceptual ideas behind like the hands, like I thought this was really interesting that like the toy soldiers being played like puppets by like the hands here. You can go really conceptual with like the ideas of your drawings or things that you want to come up with. Or you can just make something really neat with like how you want to incorporate the hands in the landscape. Probably the easiest route to go about in this project is how can you make these hands fall into the landscape itself. And then here's some examples of student work. So these are like, the best examples I've had. I gathered them for years. So, we're going to, spend some time doing a detailed drawing, use pencil shading. So, okay. So these references, I'm going to show you like the landscape references and your handscapes, hand references. You can use these to, just copy or draw for your landscape drawings. So, I'm not going to just go through this though, but it gives you, a variety of different references to use, and you don't have to copy exactly what it is. You can just kind of borrow like, oh, I might like how this mountain looks, or maybe the trees or like the bushes. Kind of the main thing you want to keep in mind of in terms of like a landscape though, and I'll just show you an example right here, is kind of like create like a middle ground or foreground, middle ground, and then background. So this is like a really good example of that. So we see some trees, and in the foreground there's a river. It's kind of extending outward. So this is like the closest things to us. But in the middle ground though, we see like some houses, and in the background we see some skies and more trees. And then there's always like a horizon line. So I'll kind of generally go over like how to draw a landscape 101, because that was like the only thing we didn't really spend too much time on. Okay, and then your hand references. So I have some examples of drawings of the hands you might want to use. And then these are like hand references that I gave you. It's not too many, but these are like, interesting ways you can incorporate the hands into the landscape. Maybe like the hands could be touching something on the ground, or maybe they be picking up something specific in the landscape, or they could be holding things. So there's like kind of like a reason why I chose like these specific hands, because you can incorporate, substitute like something from like the landscape, within the things that they're holding, or positioning the hands. Okay, so use that as references to start coming up with ideas. And then on the paper itself though, very, very simple. I'm gonna have you guys draw 5 small rectangles and then 1 big rectangle on the bottom. So we're going to do some small thumbnail sketches. So very, very similar to your portfolio project, we're going to do thumbnail drawings. Okay, so just remember your thumbnail drawings though should be a little bit bigger than the thumb, but don't make it too small. Okay, but you can keep these fairly small though. So I would just draw 5 rectangles. All right, try to just draw the rectangles. I don't really care if they're like not perfect, but at this point now you really shouldn't need a ruler for these thumbnail drawings. You definitely want to get into like the practice of just drawing them out. I mean, I can hand out rulers, but it's not, I'm not gonna hand them out to everybody. So you technically don't need it. So you're gonna do 5 small boxes. Okay, so these are gonna be your 5 thumbnail sketches. Okay, so we're gonna do sketches for day 1. Okay, and I'm gonna go over day 1, in this video. Day 2 will be like another video, and then we're gonna do like a bigger drawing on the bottom. So I'm doing a long rectangle though, but if for some reason you want to do like a vertical one, that's fine too. Just make sure to like flip your boxes the other way, because I'm gonna give you like the option if you want to do like a vertical or horizontal composition, but I'm gonna do all of mine horizontal though, just because usually landscapes you look at it. So this is gonna be your prelim sketch, or we'll call it preliminary sketch. Okay, I'll explain what the preliminary sketch is, but this will be for day 2, so those will be a separate video for day 2. Okay, but make sure to set your paper up like this. Shouldn't take too long. Again, just freehand the rectangles. Okay, I'm gonna just force you guys to freehand it, because at this point now you should be able to just know how to draw shapes and whatnot. I'm gonna zoom in on the thumbnails just to show you what we're doing there. Okay, but just make sure, real important, that you set up your paper like this though. Okay, so thumbnail sketches. Okay, so you're gonna use those references that you're gonna look at. Obviously, because I'm making this video, I can't really look at the references. But you know, you're gonna draw like small ideas of how you want to do your handscape drawing. Okay, and yeah, I definitely will look at the references first and, you know, come up with some ideas. But you know, I want you to come up with like 5 different ideas. Okay, and each idea though, they should include a landscape. Oops, can't spell landscape. Okay, so you gotta have some, you know, trees, mountains, lake, or I don't know, roadways. Okay, it's up to you though, but you just gotta make sure you have the landscape. And then the most important thing is you need to draw at least 2 hands. Okay, so 2 hands. And just for additional brownie points, and I'll put this on the side over here, kind of running out of space to write. Have hands interacting with environment. Okay, so, you know, obviously you have to establish these 2 things first. And definitely extra brownie points if you can do this, because what's going to make that handscape drawing more interesting is how you have the hands interacting with the environment. You don't want this to be like the afterthought, but definitely, you know, if you can think about that while you're drawing, that's even better. Okay, so yeah, to get started with like the drawings, let me zoom in a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, so I would always let me move this mouse. So start with the horizon line. Okay, so just remember this line separates the, you know, ground from the sky. You know, we went over this with your you know, last project we did with the perspective drawings. So, you know, you want to just have the separation like from the ground to the sky. And you know, the main thing you want to do is, you know, make sure you have something in the foreground, the middle ground, and then the background of the picture, because, you know, we want to create like a complex landscape drawing. So foreground, middle. I just put middle and back, so you guys know this is like foreground, middle ground, background. Okay, so now, obviously, my drawing's not going to be really in detail, but basically, you want to start thinking about like, you know, what's incorporated in the drawing. So, for example, maybe I could have like a windy path in the drawing. So, I would actually start with the drawing itself. So, just remember, like, as things that are going closer to the edges or the bottom, they're going to appear a lot bigger. But as it's going back into space, though, it's going to appear smaller. So we can make a windy path here. Maybe I could put like, I don't know, like a mountain over here. You know, we can do like a big rock. Okay, and I'm not really too worried about details. I'm just drawing like, you know, where I want my general shapes to be. Maybe I can do like some small trees. So I'm just gonna do like a line and triangle for some trees. You know, do some overlapping. Okay, so don't worry about details though, but just figure out where you want things to be in the drawing. So, you know, we got some trees on the mound. You know, I'm just got some, you know, rock formations there. You know, maybe I can add like a bigger tree over here. So, all right. Okay, now, yeah, I'm drawing a lot of things here though, but also make sure to think about like your hands too. So I'm gonna draw very lightly some more mountains in the back. But, you know, this is how you want to, like, basically compose your landscape drawing. Let me draw it a little bit darker so you can see. So it's not really a lot of details, though, but, you know, I have, like, a foreground here, a middle ground, and then a background for my drawing. And if I wanted to, I could do, like, a sun back here. It's kind of radiating the light. Okay, hopefully that's clear looking, though, because this is, like, a really small drawing that I'm doing. Okay, and then after you've done like the drawing of the landscape, then think about where you want to place the hand. So you can look at the references I gave you, or you can use like your own physical hand too. So maybe I might have I don't know, maybe like a hand that could be coming out of the ground here. Maybe it's kind of like cupping to make like a tunnel. So I'm just kind of looking at my hand, just drawing what I see. So you'll just have to kind of just get like the general shapes of the hand. So I have my hand out. So I'm just drawing the wrists, the shapes. This is how my fingers would be for the hand. So I want like the fingers to kind of like cup around here, and then this part of the wrist is going to come around this way here. So it doesn't really look like much, but this is like generally how I'm going to have like the hand. And if I wanted to go with this idea, though, I could definitely, incorporate it in my prelim sketch and go into more details. But, in terms of like my hand, I'll show you what I'm trying to do here with this drawing. Let me zoom out. I'm kind of drawing my hand like this, so it's kind of like cupping to create like a little tunnel for the the walkway that I made. So that's basically what I'm doing with the hand, is like this this positioning of the hand. Okay, so definitely use your own reference for the hand, because that makes it a little bit easier. You have like more control of like how it looks. So I drew my one hand here to create like a little tunnel for this, the inside of this walkway here. And then maybe I might want to put like I don't know, like another hand in the background. So this is a little cringy though, but I can maybe have like a hand kind of waving or something in the background. So it's kind of hard to see because it's a really small thumbnail. Oops. I can do like a small hand, waving from like very far away. So, and since these are smaller drawings, you don't really need to have them in detail. So I kind of just did like the, my fingers like this, having it way far away. Okay, but generally though, you want to have like your little thumbnail idea like that, because we want to do like small thumbnails though, just to get like a general idea of like what we want the drawing to look. And then we actually like how that overall drawing looks. Then by all means we can do that with your with the bigger drawing down here. Okay, so these smaller drawings shouldn't take you too long, but I do want you to draw 5 different thumbnail sketches for today. And then we can do like the bigger drawing next class. Or if you don't finish all 5 of your thumbnails, I will at least do like 3 for today. Then you could do 2 more thumbnails, for like warm up next class, and then do the prelim sketch next class. Okay, and I'll explain the prelim sketch, next time, so what you're exactly doing for that.